Now I stand before you. Okay, well, I'm not standing. I'm sitting. I sit before you, a man humbled by his picks from last week. I led you guys to believe that I had the recipe and I did it. My picks were ass last week. I'm so sorry. Oh my. I told you not to bet money though. I warned you. So if you bet money, that's on you. That's on you. Dang it, Santiago. Dang it. Oh my, Buckley. Oh my gosh. Oh my. I'm Cairo, and this is the right time and the right place. Season 2. It's fight week again, guys. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't want to do the fight card on, who is it, Neil Magny versus Michael Chiesa, because there's just a point of diminishing return where I put forth 3 hours of effort for a video that's only going to have 3 days of life. The event's on Wednesday, and I'm not trying to drop a video on Monday or on Sunday or whenever you're watching it for an event that's going to be over the course of 3 days that people don't even care about. Most of y'all don't even care about that fight. So what I'm going to do is move on to UFC 257, Mcgregor versus Poirier, and just drop it on Monday. Hopefully you see it then. Hopefully you see it on Tuesday, whenever you see it. But there's just too much to talk about, and that card hasn't really piqued my interest as much as it should for me to do a video like that. One thing that you guys need to know is that UFC 257 robbed us of one of the greatest fights of the year. I promise you, Hakeem Dawodu versus Shane Burgos was going to be straight heat. Hakeem injured his shoulder, so he's out. That fight was scrapped, unfortunately. I don't think they're going to try and put it back together. I think they're just going to give Shane another opponent in the meantime, and Hakeem's just going to do Hakeem things. Whatever it is, though, what would Dawodu do? Anyway, though, let's talk about the main event, McGregor versus Poirier. There's a lot of people who think that this fight is going to be one-way traffic. I don't think so. At the beginning of this, I was so convinced it was going to be. I thought Conor was just going to come out there and just laser this fool like he has the blood of Suban from Halo or a Spartan laser, and it was just going to be over. I don't think so anymore. What's intriguing about this is this. Conor is very good at getting people to fight his style of fight. So is Dustin. 9 times out of 10, though, when one of them gets the other person to fight their style, they win. This now begs the question, who's going to force the other person to skip to their Lou? In the words of Rashad Evans.
But if you could elaborate.
When you make somebody skip to your Lou, that's just like, you make them do what you want them to do, what you want them to do. And that's just pretty much what it pretty much means. There's a basketball player. He used to call himself Skip to my Lou. And he used to always get people to do what he wants to do because he does fakes and everything else like that. So skip to my Lou.
And I know there's a lot of you saying, Dustin has accumulated so much damage over time. But the thing about it is this. He's inflicting that damage on you too as well in those fights. Can Conor withstand that damage for however long it takes him to find the route to victory and finish Dustin Poirier? I don't know. We saw what happened when he was trying to inflict damage and he couldn't get you out of there, but he was constantly absorbing damage from Nate. Taking damage gets you tired just as fast. You can throw strikes all day, but when somebody hits you back, it starts to take something out of you. And when they start marching forward and forcing you to throw back, that takes something out of you too. I think Conor McGregor has some of the most diverse striking in the UFC. I'm not going to say he has the most diverse striking, but as of late, he just hasn't shown us that. He has some of the best kicks in the UFC. I remember when he first hit featherweight division, you saw how beautiful his kicks are. He's throwing teeps, he's throwing spinning head kicks, he was throwing everything. But because most of the opponents weren't that tall in stature, he had to take away from using those techniques. It was going over Dennis Seaver's head throughout the first fight that he had with them, and then his coach told him to stop throwing kicks like that. And after that fight, you never saw him throwing head kicks really ever again until he fought Donald Cerrone, who's a taller statured opponent, 5'11", 6 feet tall, head kicked him cleanly, dropped him. Who head kicks Cowboy? That's supposed to be Cowboy's thing. That's what I'm telling you. He has so many great different weapons, and I don't think this is necessarily just going to be a boxing fight, even though it could be. It could be, but I don't think it's going to be a boxing fight. I think it's going to be a kickboxing and a tie fight. I think we're going to see elbows. We're going to see knees. We're going to see it get ugly, and that's why I think it's going to favor Dustin in that amount of time. But I don't think that Dustin necessarily is going to win, and I don't think necessarily Conor is going to wipe the floor with him. I think it's going to be a 48-47 decision, maybe a 49-46. I'm not one of those people who are co-signing this belief that Conor is just going to laser him. I don't think it's going to happen that way. If it does happen, more power to him. But I just think that Dustin Poirier has gotten so well at forcing you to fight at his style and his pace, and he's going to make you pay. Sure, he can get sloppy in a dogfight, but when a dogfight happens, that's what happens. People get sloppy. You aren't having I'm not the most technical guy. I'm not going to even try and show you some strikes. But you get my point. I'm picking Conor McGregor, unanimous decision. Following that fight, we have Dan Hooker versus Michael Johnson. It's about time this guy has fought. Bro, we've been waiting almost a year for him to get inside the cage. I'm not mad at him, though. A lot of people get mad at fighters for trying to be matchmakers and pick the fights that they want. But more fighters need to do that. They need to take care of their careers and ensure their longevity as well as their pockets. I'm not mad at you, Michael Chandler. I think you picked the right first fight back into the UFC. I also think I predicted this fight, but whatever. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I think that Michael Chandler is going to vary his attack from the head to the body to the legs, and I think he's also going to grapple with Dan Hooker, like he said in his MMA On Point interview. Every single interview he does, he kind of tells you what he's going to do, and then he does it to that degree. And I hope Dan Hooker's hip to that and has seen that and finds a way. I think that Dan Hooker has the offense, let alone the defense, to stop him from taking him down and holding him there. Now, if he does that, more power to him. I'm also a huge Michael Chandler fan, so that might be clouding my judgment right now. Trust me when I tell you this. Michael Chandler is going to surprise a lot of people in this fight. I think he's going to go out there, and I think he's going to win some fans. A lot of people think that just because you aren't in the UFC immediately, you aren't racking up wins, that you're somehow a less touted prospect or you're a lower ranked commodity. There are so many different organizations that bring forth such great talent. People just take their time getting to the UFC because they want to make sure they're a more complete fighter when they get here so that they aren't quickly out as they are into the organization. Michael Chandler is a perfect example of that. You had Weili Zhang become a champion in 2 years coming from Kunlun Fights. You had, oh my gosh, there's so many phenomenal fighters who just come over from the other organizations. And if you're only watching the UFC, you are messing up. Let's move on, though. I'm picking Michael Chandler, unanimous decision, probably 29-28, maybe 30-27. We have Jessica Eye versus Joanne Calder. Here we go, Evil. Here we go. Woo, woo. Y'all hate that girl, but she can win fights. She fought Viviana Rojo to a decision last year. I think it was 29-28 or maybe 30-27. That shows you that she can strike and get it done. You might not like her. Excuse me. You might not like her, but she can fight. And I don't think this is going to be a grappling match. I think this is going to be a kickboxing fight, maybe more so boxing, because Jessica has a great ability to force you in a boxing range and force the issue on you so you can't get your kicks off. And I think in that sort of fight, Jessica is going to have her success. I think she's going to start landing a lot of shots. She's going to rack up points. And I think it's going to have a cascading snowball effect for the rest of the fight. I'm picking Jessica Eye, 29-28. You guys see me picking these closely contested decisions, but I just don't think it takes a different type of fighter to win 3 straight rounds and have a shutout. I don't think it's realistic to do that to Joanne Calderwood. I think Joanne Calderwood is going to find a way to win a round. Maybe she even shocks me and wins the fight, but I'm going with Jessica Eye. Following that, we have Matt Frevola versus Ottoman Azaitar. Now, people say that this fight should not be made, and you know what? I might have to side with you. They should not have put together this fight. I know Matt Frevola has striking, and he has a large pedigree of stuff outside the UFC, but dude, no, they should not have made this. The matchmakers should be ashamed of themselves for doing this. I don't think Matt Frevola, just because he had a great fight with Luis Pena, which is 2 years ago, can stand a chance and compete well in this fight. I think Ottoman's going to put it on him. I think he's going to put it on him early. I think he's going to put it on him mid. I think he's going to put it onto him late. I think this one might be a 30-27 or a finish. 30-27 or a finish. Don't mark my words. Don't mark my words. Forget it. I'm just picking Ottoman. 3rd round KO. Following that, we have Marina Rodriguez versus Amanda Ribas. Y'all are some haters, bro. Every time there's a fighter who's not being evil, who's not saying stupid stuff, who fans start to get around and like and enjoy, there's always those people who are like, they're annoying. I don't like them. Shut up, you hater. Gosh, bro, when I tell you y'all are some haters, I'm the perfect hater. I'm an excellent hater. I hate a lot of fighters. No, I don't. But I recognize hating because I was once a hater. Just like you are currently. You need to get over it. You're really mad at somebody's happy. You're mad at somebody's laughing. Grow up. Grow up. That being said, I'm going with Amanda Ribas. One thing that concerns me about Marina Rodriguez is her ability to get back up to her feet as well as defend takedowns. And Amanda Ribas can do it all. You saw her out-grapple Mackenzie Dern. And people think that Mackenzie Dern is the best BJJ practitioner in the UFC. Or at least the most decorated. And she was able to out-grapple her. Granted, there was striking thrown into it, and it wasn't just BJJ. It was a mixed martial arts bout. And she used mixed martial arts to out-grapple her. But she still did it, though. And that's my point. I think that Amanda is going to grapple Marina. And if she doesn't grapple her, I don't care. No matter what outcome that happens, no matter how the fight goes, I just think that Amanda is better than Marina in every single category. I just think so. I think so. And I know what y'all are going to say. Kairos, you picked Mackenzie Dern. And I'm not Mackenzie. You picked Paige Van Zandt to beat Amanda. I did, but I was really just thinking from the standpoint of I thought that Paige was going to come back different than how we imagined her. She had taken 3-4 years off. So in my mind, I was like, she's going to take that time to revamp her style and increase the attributes that I already thought that she had. I was an idiot. For that. I'll take that L. Sometimes I get overzealous. Sometimes I look too deep into things. But me looking too deep into things is the reason why I'm so good at what I do. Anyway, though, Amanda Ribas, and I think she wins unanimous decision. Maybe she even submits her. Maybe she submits her in the 2nd or the 1st round and increases that winning streak to 102-1 or whatever crazy number the U.S. broadcasters put up on there. I'm also going to put down the prelims and the early prelims and my picks for them on the screen as well. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am Kairos, and this is the right time and the right place.
I'm Cairo, and this is the right time and the right place. Season 2.